In 15 years of living together, we have never had an argument. We have never even had a harsh word where the other one had to come back later and say, "I'm sorry I said that."
Now you know dang good and well. Before we get into this video today, I do want to let you guys know that this video is going to be only based on my own personal opinions. Everything I'm going to be talking about is allegedly. Please remember to be kind to everybody, everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know. Y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing great. I hope you all are wonderful. I hope you all are healthy. I hope you all are staying inside as much as possible. All of my love to the essential workers out there. Every single one of you guys, thank you for your service and your dedication to our country and to our world. Love you. I'm praying for every single one of you. So, how many people, by a show of hands, let me get a hand emoji, a tiger emoji, whatever you got, have seen The Tiger King on Netflix? Lord, if you have not, whatever you do in life, watch it. I would recommend not watching it around small children, my own personal opinion, because the language is very, very, very strong. That's just my own parenting and my personal opinion. But you have to watch it. When I tell you guys, I have never seen a crap show of a show before, never. And I ate it up. I loved every freaking bit of it. It's one of those shows, like, my husband and I watched half of it. I think there's like 7 episodes. We watched half of it in one night and the other half the next night. Like, we could not stop. It was so crazy and horrible that we could not take our eyes off of it. Like, whoa. Now, because of the many layers of this show, I can't just do a whole story time in one video. So I'm going to break it up in parts if you guys like this video and you want me to. So today we're going to be talking about the hot topic, Carole Baskin. Now, the rumor that's going around all around the internet right now, and a lot of people's opinions, is Carole Baskin allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, fed her ex-husband to her tigers. Yes, fed her husband to her tigers. Okay, y'all are like, what? If you have not seen the show, please go watch the show. Okay, now we even have a lot of celebrities. You got Cardi B, you got Kim Kardashian, you got Chrissy Teigen, you got all kinds of like celebrities talking about this and telling their opinions. And I have not personally seen one person say that they do not believe that she fed her husband to the tigers. Now, y'all, that first video clip, if you guys, again, if you've not seen it, you better go watch it. Just go watch it. I'm about to be talking to you guys like you've seen it. Is her husband now. Okay, she's been married now for 15 years to her new husband. And let me just tell you guys a rundown of the story. How do I start with this? Help me. Like, this is so crazy. Carole Baskin was a young woman who was walking down the road one day. Now, supposedly she had gotten pregnant by, I think it was her first husband. It's a little confusing. I've seen things online saying she's only been married twice, but I thought from the show that they said that she was married to another guy. Maybe not, so we're just going to call him Baby Daddy because we know for sure that's who it is. And another thing about the show, where was the kid? Okay, we're going to keep going. So Carole Baskin, as a young girl, ended up getting with this guy. She had a really rough childhood, according to her, and she left her home at like 15 years old, 16 years old, something like that. And she got pregnant with from this guy and ended up having a baby. Now, supposedly, according to Carole, This guy was abusive to her, and she already didn't really think she could be a mom. She thought, I don't want to bring another person into this world, much less bring in, bring in a child, because I don't know how I'm going to be a mom. So they left a lot of that out, but I'm so curious, and we're going to talk about that too. So anyways, nevertheless, she had a baby, and she was in an abusive relationship with her husband. Now, I'm going to try to be sympathetic to her at the same time because we don't know. So I'm only basing all of this on the storyline, okay? Lord. So she's walking down the road one day, has left her first guy with the kid, and this guy drives by and picks her up, and he was an older gentleman, okay? Now this older gentleman who is or was her husband, his name was Don Lewis, okay? Now he picked her up, and he was much older than her, like I said. They fell in love. He fell in love with her. What she did not know about Lewis, or Don Lewis at first, was that he was a multi-millionaire, okay? But he was one of those types of guys that dressed down, wore like old dirty clothes and stuff like that. He didn't want people to know he was a millionaire. And he had actually told Carole by the time she found out that he didn't want people to treat him differently or try to use him and manipulate him for his money. Now, supposedly, the rumor, the word from the bird across the gate is he was married, okay, at that time when he picked her up, and he had a couple other kids, 2 other daughters. And the ex-wife says that he left his wife and kids for Carole, this young, blonde chick, in her 20s, and he was in his 40s and married and whatever, and he just straight up left his family, okay? Carole didn't talk about any of that as far as I saw, but so that's what I'm saying. There's so many different stories, so many different layers, so we're just going to roll with it all allegedly. So Carole gets with him, and he has this like animal park thing, this animals, he has a bunch of tigers and baby cub tigers and other little animals and like little monkeys and, different kinds of big cats and stuff like that, all different kinds of species. And she fell in love with these animals. And how could you not, right? If somebody comes and puts a little tiger kitten in your hand, just like, how do you not just love it? While I was watching Tiger King, all I kept thinking was like, I want to hold that kitty too. Like, I want to love it. I just want to love it. They were bottle feeding these little baby tiger kittens, and like, it was just so cute. Well, the husband was really into breeding them. And supposedly, according to Carole, she like started feeling weird about it. Like she says she started feeling like it was the wrong thing to do, to continue to breed these tigers and sell kittens and stuff like that. She said she started feeling like a moral pull, that it was wrong, but that her husband didn't really care. Like, he was going to do what he wanted to do. At some point, Carole and John Lewis get married, okay? So they're living on this like ranch, and they start expanding, and they start getting more animals. And in Carole's story, the more that she started deciding that she didn't want to continue to breed these animals, she felt like it was wrong, the more her husband was saying that like he was going to do it anyways, right? Like, he's the millionaire. He's the one with, and different rumors went around. Some people, like his lawyer was saying he knew for sure he was worth like $7 million. Then you had an assistant that said he was worth $20 million. Then you had a friend that like, so this wasn't just like a $1 million. This was like a multi-millionaire. Like, this man had that coin, okay? And she knew it. She was up in there like, give me them kittens and give me that dollar, okay? She knew what she was doing. She tried to act like she didn't, but she sure did. Anyways, that's my personal opinion. So somewhere along the line, the husband and Carole started arguing, and he was planning on, according to his like assistants and stuff, he was planning on divorcing her. He was making moves of the way he could divorce her and she not take his money, okay? So he was trying to get things in order, and then the next thing you know, boom, he disappears, okay? And when he disappears, he falls flat off of the face of the earth. And this was many years ago. And still to this day, nobody knows where the husband is. What came out later was that not only was he making these moves to divorce her, but he had went down to the courthouse and tried to file 2 restraining orders on her. Both of them letting the courts know that she had threatened to kill him. She told him she was going to kill him. But the courts kept throwing it out, freedom of speech. And I will tell you guys, it's not super easy to just go get a restraining order on somebody. You can't just go down to the courthouse and be like, I don't like you, or they threatened me, and get a restraining order. You have to show for real proof of a threat, of a stalking, of a something to the point that the courts and the police department need to keep you safe, okay? Which I think it's bizarre. If he went down there twice and said that she threatened to kill him, they still didn't give it to him, and then he ends up disappearing. Well, okay, I gotta jump in here real quick. So as I'm editing, guess what I found? So after her husband went missing, it looks like, all of this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, it looks like she had another boyfriend, and she threatened that boyfriend too, and that boyfriend went and filed a restraining order as well. And this is what he said in the restraining order, and I'm gonna pop up a picture right here, but we're gonna read together. It says, on the phone and at the home, the respondent, which is Carole, told me she will kick my beep out of there and do whatever it takes. And I honestly fear I am in danger of death or serious bodily injury because of her prior husband is missing and presumed dead. One day she said to me when I asked her, what happens if your husband shows up now? Her response was, dead body cannot talk. Her former husband's daughter told me that she could be dangerous and to watch my back. The respondent carries 2 guns loaded always on her, one in her truck and one in her residence, and she said she was a suspect in her husband's disappearance. Recently, 3 to 4 days ago, she told me human bones were found near her Lazy Days Center. She said she hopes it is not on her property or she will be in deep crap. I'm just saying, I don't know, you guys. I could be wrong. This is all could be just, allegedly, but we just talking about just in case. All right, back to the video. She reported him supposedly, okay, the day after he went missing as a missing person. The cops looked everywhere. They missed a lot of things though, like his van. They found his van that he drives at this like little airport where he would fly these little planes and stuff. Like he had these little planes, but these were not like a Delta plane, right? These planes are not going to fly across the country. These are just like little personal planes and stuff like that. And they found his van there with the keys in it. And they ended up letting Carole or whoever it is drive it back to their home. And it sat there for days before they fingerprinted it or anything. So when they investigated this, they missed a lot of evidence. Now, of course, Carole got to continue to live in the home. So it took 5 years. So after he disappeared, 5 years afterwards, Carole was able to go down and legally pronounce him dead, which then gives her all of the control, all of the money, everything is in her name. At 5 years and 1 day, she was baby down at that courthouse, pronouncing him dead and getting all that money. And while she was doing it, she was making moves. Oh, another thing to tell you guys is the day that he went missing, she fired like all of his employees because they had this big ranch, right, with all the cats and stuff like that and all of the animals. And he had employees that had worked for him for years before Carole had even come into the picture. And the day that he went missing, she fired all of them and hired her family. Like boom, 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 boom. She was just moving right along. Now, if you guys watch the show, when they feed these tigers, sometimes they feed them little like pieces of chicken or pieces of meat, but the actual Tiger King, now that's a whole nother story because this show, the Tiger King, has 3 different parts if you ask me, which is the Tiger King, and we can get to that if you guys want me to, let me know. And then it has the other guy that raises tigers, and then we got Carole, which is the hot topic right now. It showed a part in the show, the Tiger King, where the actual Tiger King was feeding his tigers, and what they were doing was getting, dead cows or roadkill, like the cops would call the Tiger King and be like, hey, we got a dead, deer on the side of the road. So they would go and get the deer, cut it up in pieces, and just feed these tigers like these big giant pieces of like leg quarter or middle quarter. And these tigers tore it up. I mean, they ripped it to shreds. And I don't know if they eat the bone or what. You guys tell me. I've heard different opinions. I've heard that they will eat the bone, and then I've heard that they don't eat the bone. I would assume they wouldn't eat the bone, but I guess you just never know, right? So the thought is, the conspiracy, there's a bunch of thoughts going around. There's thoughts that, the plane was flying. This is what she says. She says that he went on a ride with somebody and she believes they pushed him out of the airplane. I personally lean more to the stance that she fed him to the tigers. And this whole time I was watching this, I kept making Jeremy pause it. I'm like, oh, this, oh, that. I personally would think, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, and if I'm wrong, Lord, please forgive me, and I apologize to Carole or anybody else, but the way the show was edited, and you guys do got to know that there is an editing process that goes into a show, okay? She could have said a million other things, and they take these certain spots out and put it into the show. So I'm going to say my opinion based on the show is, she fed that man to them tigers. I would think she didn't feed them for a week or two, right? She was planning this, allegedly. I think she made sure them tigers were hungry this day. And I think she went on ahead and did what she had to do to him and cut him up in pieces and fed him to the tigers. Now she does have a meat grinder. So there was rumors that she put him through the meat grinder and then fed that meat to him. I don't even think she did that. When I saw the way those tigers tore up those deers and those cows and those other animals, no, baby. I sure think she just went on ahead and fed him to the tigers. Because how would you know? How would you know? They say that the tiger's digestive system is so fast that literally, you wouldn't have been able to tell anyways. But where would the bones be? Would the tigers eat the bones? Or did she, when that truck was at that little airport, did she get in that airport and throw his bones off into the water somewhere really deep where you couldn't find the bones? I don't know, you guys. Something happened to that man. And he's not still out there, because come on, you got to see, this show is the hottest show out right now. He would see it and come back and be like, call, at least say, look. And the way that he was about his money, he was a tightwad about his money. There is no way he would have walked away from just $20 million with nothing. Okay? There's no way he would have. Would you? Would you just walk away with nothing? Not even your vehicle? That man, I'm trying to tell y'all, and more of the reason why, according to the show, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, that I just don't trust Carole, is she's told so many lies, even on the show. And I researched this afterwards. If you guys research, she would tell, let me just show you a little clip right here, what I'm talking about.
But many of the cats were not rescued. In fact, at least 30 of the cats were actually born right there at the facility. You can see some of them here in this home video. Former volunteers tell us other stories are, at best, exaggerated.
If it's not a rescue, it shouldn't be tagged as a rescue.
Jim Moore volunteered for nearly 5 years at Big Cat Rescue, even at one point living on the property. But now he and others intimately familiar with Big Cat Rescue say it's time they spoke publicly to set the record straight about the nonprofit and its founder.
She wanted to one day have the largest private collection of exotic cats in the world.
One of the most convincing pieces of evidence for many of Baskin's critics is this video. It's of tiger cub Shere Khan. If you believe Big Cat Rescue's website, he was, quote, unwanted and uncared for, and, quote, could not walk. But listen to the story Big Cat Rescue's founder told shortly after getting him.
This is Shere Khan. He was bottle raised in a loving and nurturing home.
Now, the fact that she can just lie without any kind of nervousness, right? And it was so weird, too, the way that they edited the show. Anytime she talked about something which would make a normal person uncomfortable or, was a little, weird, she would laugh. Now, I do know that people handle things differently, and she may be on a certain type of medication because the way she just kind of zones out and stuff, but it was just all so weird, you guys. while I was watching the show too, I kept telling Jeremy, like at different parts, I'm like, ooh, they are mad about that editing, because you know dang good and well they had no idea that that show would be edited that way, or they wouldn't have even filmed for it. Because there is an editing process that goes into shows, and when a show, like we're just gonna say Tiger King and Netflix, when they set off to make this show, they want it to be good, right? They want people to be talking about it. So they're going to edit it in a way that it's gonna blow up, and baby, they sure did when y'all saw that show. What do y'all think? Did she feed him to the tigers, or did he just disappear? Did something else happen? I think the way that she made those moves, firing all of his staff immediately and doing all of this stuff, that even more makes me believe she was covering something up. You know what I mean? And also the way she went after Tiger King constantly. Yeah, he was a ding dong. Yeah, he did a lot of things that I didn't agree with, and we'll talk about that in a video about Tiger King if you guys want me to. But like, even down to when she sued him and he had no money, and she was just relentless about taking everything. And she even wanted to take his elderly mother's house. Like, who has a heart? I mean, like, how can you have a heart and actually take an elderly woman's house when you are a multi-millionaire? I guess that's just my personal opinion. I don't care how mad I am at you. Like, if I'm a multi-millionaire, she didn't need that woman's house, but like, she was trying to take the Tiger King's like elderly parents' house, and they were on there crying, and I was like, you know what? You can't have a heart. Like, that's crossing a line. Yeah, you got a feud with the Tiger King, you know, ride out, do your thing, but his parents, like, come on, that's wrong. And that just showed me even more like, and then her relationship with her husband now is so bizarre. Now listen, I ain't got no problem with the kinks and the fetish world, like whatever floats your boat, as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not involving people of the wrong ages, as long as you're not manipulating, hurting anybody, or whatever, taking advantage, whatever, okay? Do your thing, baby. If you want to be tied up for 6 hours and whipped with a chain and you like it, and y'all are both consenting adults, that's fine. That's your business. But when they were wearing like those cat outfits, like she had her husband in this cat outfit and like on a chain, like I had the dirtiest images going through my mind that was so inappropriate, and I kept making my husband stop. I'm like, imagine this. You know they do it like this. You know they do it like this. I'm like, meow. Probably be in the bedroom. Here, kitty, kitty. Like, oh my gosh. My husband kept saying, stop it. You're nasty, Christina. I'm like, look at it. You know dang good and well that's how they are. Lord, I mean, that's whatever, do your thing. But him talking about they never had an argument in 15 years. I just don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think it's great if you don't have arguments, but like if you, what kind of relationship do you have? Is it a very, I think the guy's probably super passive aggressive and just does anything and everything she says, but why? Is it because he don't want to get fed to the tigers? Is it because he don't want to be a tiger snack? Might be. She may say the sky is purple and he's like, yes ma'am, I don't want to be a tiger snack today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just all so crazy and so weird. What do you guys think? Did you see the show? Am I crazy? Did you love it? I'm telling you, I ate it up. Like a tiger. Do you guys want me to talk about the other parts? If so, let me know down below. Talk to me. I can't wait to hear from you guys. I hope you guys are all safe. As always, my loves, please do not forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Search, but you stay lost. We are